Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Please post my story as anonymous. I hope that by me sending you my confession, I'll be able to get the help that I want. And my story is not just going to be heard by people on YouTube. At the end of the day, what I really want is help. Since you say that you know some people, please just give me the numbers of those people, even if it is a pastor. Right now, I am willing to do whatever that it takes so as to save my life before I even think about doing the things that I want to do. I do not want my kids to grow up without their father. So, Brother Nashi, let me tell you everything. I am now staying in Sunnyside. I'm renting out a small flat in Sunnyside. I last paid my rent. This was last year. Even the person that I am renting the flat from, he even said that he just wants me to pay the rent so that we can stop fighting, because I've been promising him since last year that now I'm going to pay you, but I do not pay. Then I come up with stories. It's not like stories, but to someone else it will be like it is a story, because there is no one that will ever believe you if you do not have money. I have been promising him, because there are other people that were supposed to give me some of my money that I once borrowed money many years ago, but they have not yet since returned back that money to me. This money that they borrowed, it has nothing to do with the money rituals that I later did. I borrowed the money to them when I was still clean, when my wealth was still clean, and they keep on promising me, telling me that very soon I'm going to send you the money. But I am really stuck right now. I had a dream and I saw myself leaving this earth, and I'm scared because when I left this earth, the place where I was taken to, it was so scary. I was being led into a dark world where there was no light, but I heard that there were people that were crying as if they were being tormented day and night, and thus has stopped me from committing suicide, because that was what I had in mind until I had that dream. I am even using, data that I borrow so that I can be able to send this to you. I have seen a lot of your videos, and I hope that maybe there are other people that also came with their stories that were in the same situation as I am right now, that you can link me up with them so that we can talk. I am a man that is aged 45 years old now. I'll say that it was in 2014. I was living a beautiful life. I was a king. I was a man who could get in touch with anyone really in the political realm, and even if I wanted to call an MEC, I'll just call them up and we will do some business deals. I was the guy that the MECs would call when they needed PPE and construction work done. I cleared a lot of millions in 18 months, and I had many cars. I had 5 Mercedes-Benz at one point, a G-Wagon S-Class, 2 GLEs for my main baby mamas, and I had a C63. This was just for the weekends. I thought that life was forever going to remain the same. The funny thing that once happened, I was taking a long trip, returning back home from Joburg, returning back to Durban. I had an encounter with this other prophet from the Shembe church at the same engine garage. He came to me and he said that he had been told by God that he was supposed to tell me that I should start praying, and there will be a time when I would even think of submitting my CVs so that I can just try to get a job. And I was like, I am a man who is employing hundreds and hundreds of workers. How would it even be possible that I will end up thinking of submitting a CV to who exactly? Maybe I'll be submitting a CV so that I can get a job as the president's personal assistant. That was what I told this prophet, but he said that this was what he had heard in his ears when he had looked at me. And I said, okay, thank you very much. I never even bothered to even get his phone numbers. I even thought about asking for his phone numbers so that we can later talk. Since I was also a spiritual person, I just pretended as if what he was telling me, it was pure nonsense. But deep down, I knew that this man, he could have seen something that was starting to happen in the spiritual realm. So that was another thing that happened. It was like a warning that God was giving to me, that I was supposed to repent and start praying, but I could not repent because I was already in them and I could not stop doing what I was doing. So I had so much money, Brother Nashi. I never thought that I was going to return back to this kind of a lifestyle where I have to fight for each and every single piece of bread that end up in my mouth. I honestly thought that I was blessed. I thought that each and everything that I had done, it was something that was normal, that us as Africans we can do when we want to be rich. I was young during those days when I did my Ukutwala rituals. I was someone that was not making a lot of money at the place where I was working, and I was desperate. There was a friend of mine who took me to a witch doctor in Durban as well, who told me that if I wanted to become a billionaire, I was supposed to do some of the rituals at the shrine. He told me that all that was needed was for me to pay him 50k. It was a lot of money. I sold my car, and that was when I divorced my baby mama, because I did not tell her that I was selling my car. And when she found out we were about to get married, we had already done the traditional ceremony, and when she found out that I had sold my car alone without ever telling her, then she said that she did not want to go ahead with the marriage. So me and him, we got divorced before we had even gone anywhere. I said, this one, she was giving me bad luck. It is far much better that I am now alone. So I believed that I was going to be super rich. I also became super rich, and I believed that it was because of her bad luck. When I got the money after I had sold my car, I then went back to that Sangoma and I gave him the money. He gave me 12 chickens, and I was told to enter into this other room. So this was what was supposed to happen on that night. He said that he will give me a set of 12 chickens at once, and I was supposed to sleep with one chicken, like as in inserting my manhood into that chicken, and sleep with it until I ejaculate. And he gave me some mutim that was going to make me stay turned on until I could not do it anymore. He said, even if you can do 36 chickens, it is fine. But he did not tell me that these chickens that he was giving to me, 12 per set, it meant that this was going to be the number of years that I was going to live making money. If he had told me I was going to push even up to 64 or any number so that I can die as a rich man, but he did not tell me exactly why I was supposed to sleep with these chickens. All that he said to me was I had to do this ritual. It was supposed to be done. After drinking the mutim, when it was during the night, that was when they brought the 12 chickens. They were in a big crate, and one by one I slept with them. When I would sleep with one, I had to twist its neck so that it died. Then I gave it back to the old man, who will just put his hand into the room and I would hand him over. We were not supposed to see each other. I did these things that haunt me each and every time when I close my eyes, and it was very weird and it was disgusting thing that I had ever done in my entire life. So, Brother Nashi, when I came to chicken number 12, I said I can't do it anymore. I can't do it. And I gave up. He told me that we were going to sit and talk the next day. So I slept in that mud room. Then the next day in the morning, he called me into another consultation room. That was when he told me that one chicken that I had slept with, it meant that he was going to borrow me his dogoloshim for each and every year. And I said, but why didn't you tell me that this was what it meant by sleeping with these chickens? I could have slept with all of the chickens in the world so that I can live and die as a rich man. And he said that the things of the spirit, they do not work the way that we want them to work. I had been given 12 years, and in those 12 years I was supposed to enjoy my life. I was supposed to go places. The Tokoloshi will be working for me for free, but all that it would want in return was for me to impregnate as many women as I can. That was all that it required from me. And I said, as long as I have money, I think that it is going to be quite easy. Women, they love men that have money, right? And they said, now you can go and you can start enjoying your money. So, Brother Nashim, I walked out of that consultation room and I returned back to my friend, and he told me that he had done a different ritual, but he did not share the details of his ritual with me. Within a very short period of time, I got my first tender. But when I got this tender, it was not like my company. It was a friend of mine whom I had been introduced to, who was also using a Tokoloshi in his tender business. So he gave me a subcontract work so that I can get a nice profile on my company. I worked under his company for 2 good years. Then I got my first tender, my first 5 million tender. It felt like it was magic. The time when I got this tender and I started owning cars, houses, I did not know what to do anymore. Money was coming to me in a way that I could not even understand. I got 5 women pregnant within 3 years. As for now, I have 8 children. I bought them all houses in gated estates. I bought the mothers cars, would spend a lot of money whenever I would go to a nightclub just to be called Big Daddy. And my baby mamas, they used to get nice money. And 12 years, it is not a lot. To someone that is poor, you will think that the year is taking too long. But when you are rich, there are many things that you have to do. Do you know that once you start to make money 24 hours a day, it feels like it is too little to you? 24 hours a day, it feels as if maybe it is about an hour. But when you are poor, you start thinking about waking up, going to work, working so hard. But when you are very rich, you can see that the day, it is moving really fast. When I thought of the 12 years, I said that 12 years, it is a lot. I'm still going to enjoy my money, right? I was very wrong. Within a couple of years, I realized that 7 years had already gone down the line, and I started calculating, and I said, now I am only left with 5 years. That was when my things started to go slow. By the time that I had reached the 7th year, it was even worse. 10, 12 years, and it is over. Now I don't have any Tokoloshi because that Tokoloshi, it returned back to its original owner. So I have tried everything. I went to Nigeria. This was 7 times. From 2023, I went to Nigeria until last year. I was looking for a strong doctor who can help me. I tried to join different occultic groups, but as for me, those occultic groups, it's like they are fake because nothing really worked for me. Some of them, they just took my money. They promised me that I will join the Illuminati, but nothing really happened for me. When I went to Nigeria, I came back realizing that I had been scammed by some Nigerians. So I don't know if it was that maybe the Tokoloshi is the one that is blocking me, since I made an oath that after these years, then I am going to return back to poverty. My businesses, they collapsed. You know, when you have built your business on a foundation and the devil is the foundation, you'll just shift and your business will collapse. That is exactly what happened to me. When I was embarrassed, I was at a car wash one day, and then they had been looking for me, like the bank had been looking for the car that I was driving. They located me and I was at the car wash. You know that feeling to have your car being taken away from you and you can't do anything about it. I'm walking right now. A man who had not been in a taxi for a lot of years. I now stand in the rank. I now go around looking for a job, just like what that prophet from Shembe told me. He said that, I see you. You are going to be looking for a job. You even think about committing suicide, about sending your CVs to people, thinking that you are going to get a job so that you can get out of this. As for my baby mama, I have now realized that they only loved me because of the money that I had. Please plug me, brother. If you know anyone, I am desperate, bro Nash. I'm looking for a sangoma from Malawi, someone that can assist me so that my money can return back to me as fast as possible, because these baby mamas of mine, they hate me so much. Some of them are dating some of my ex-business partners. One is even pregnant. She is even staying with one of my best friend, who was a best friend of mine, whom I even uplifted. But his business, I don't think that he did any rituals. He was just an engineer that I started to give subcontracts, and the next thing, he got other partners into the business and they are doing their stuff. So one of my baby mama is now staying with that guy. Do you know how much it hurts? I was someone that was uplifting the community, but now there is no one that even wants to come to my rescue. I have been thinking about ending this life. I even tried to drink a lot of pills and just top it off with a bottle of brandy. But then I had that dream that I told you about, and I was scared and said, what if I die? Then I am going to be taken to that place where there is darkness everywhere. And I heard people that were screaming in pain. If I die, then who is going to protect my children? Who is going to find me a sangoma or a pastor? Bronash, I need you to help me find a real healer, not a Nigerian or any scammer. I want a real healer that can assist me. Please reply to my text. I feel as if I do not have much time left before I lose my mind or I take my own life. I just wanted to be okay. I just wanted to be rich. Was that too much to ask for? Yo, dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear brother. Let us speak with our brother in the comment section. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. Let us speak with him in the comment section.